How you feeling today?
Great.
How's your health doing?
It's all right. It's all right.
Good to hear it.
I feel better today. You had a session with Dr. Unk. Dr. Unk did miracles.
What do you do?
You laid hands on him? I don't know.
Y'all, I need everybody to sit all the way down for this one because Ray J just did exactly what we said he was going to do, and the internet is losing it right now. So remember how Ray J's been all over social media talking about how he's dying, how half his heart is turned black, how he's got months to live, how he's on a cocktail of medications just to make it through the day? Remember all that? Well, TMZ just caught him pulling up to court today looking like he's about to host the BET Awards, full suit, designer energy, aviators on, refusing to even look at the cameras. And when they asked how he's doing, he said, and I quote, "I'm doing all right, better today." Girl, the math is not mathing. Let me break this all the way down. So if you've been following Ray J at all lately, you know he's been on this whole I'm dying media tour. He's posted emotional videos. He's talked about how his heart is literally failing him. He said half of it has turned black, which medically sounds terrifying. He's talked about being on all these medications, living on borrowed time, not knowing how much longer he has. And listen, when someone says stuff like that, you're supposed to be sympathetic. You're supposed to send prayers, hope they get better, wish them well. That's the human thing to do. But here's the problem. Ray J has spent the last year being so wildly unpredictable, so chaotic, and so confusing that when he drops another bombshell, people don't just accept it anymore. They investigate. They pull receipts. They start asking questions. And the number one question right now is, if you're dying, why do you look like you're thriving? So today, Ray J showed up to court in Los Angeles. And y'all, the optics of this are insane. According to TMZ, he rolled up in a full tailored suit, looking fresh, looking clean, looking like a man who's got his life together. He had that cool guy swagger. He refused to make eye contact with the paparazzi. And when they asked him how he's feeling, he didn't say, "I'm struggling" or "I'm fighting through it." He said, "I'm doing all right, better today." Now, I'm not a doctor, but better today is not the energy of someone who just told the world they've got months to live. Better today is the energy of someone who's managing a headache, not heart failure. And the internet? Oh, the internet clocked it immediately. The comments are ruthless. People are saying, so he's dying, but he can dress like that? Half his heart is black, but he's walking into court with no cane, no wheelchair, no visible struggle. This man said he's on his deathbed and now he's giving GQ photo shoot. The skepticism is loud, and honestly, I get it. Now let's talk about why Ray J was in court today, because this is where things get real interesting. Ray J is dealing with legal issues right now, and one of the big ones involves a criminal protective order. According to reports, he's fighting to see his kids, and that protective order, it's standing in his way. So here's the thing. When you're trying to convince a judge that you're a responsible, stable, trustworthy parent who deserves access to your children, you cannot show up looking like a mess. You can't roll in looking sick, frail, or unstable. You have to show up looking like you got it together, and that's exactly what Ray J did. He showed up looking like a man who's in control, a man who's healthy, a man who's ready to handle his business. But here's where the optics get messy. If you're telling the public that you're dying, but you're telling the court that you're fine, which version is the truth? Let's zoom out for a second. Because this isn't happening in a vacuum. Ray J has spent the last year on a roller coaster of chaotic behavior, and every time something goes down, people are left wondering, is this real or is this strategy? He admitted suicide attempt. Then he was partying heavily. Then he made vague claims about a gay agency in Hollywood. Then he dropped wild allegations about Diddy with zero context. Then he made Cenat and other streamers visibly uncomfortable on camera. Then he launched a hitchhiking vlog to get home to his kids by Christmas, even though he has money and resources. And now he's dying, but also showing up to court looking like he just walked off a magazine cover. Do you see the pattern? Every few weeks there's a new crisis, a new headline, a new reason for people to pay attention to Ray J. And every single time, it's dramatic, it's emotional, and it's vague enough that you can't quite pin down what's real. That's not coincidence. That's strategy. And people are starting to catch on. Here's the thing about being in legal trouble. Public perception matters. If people think you're the villain, juries are less sympathetic. Judges are less lenient. The court of public opinion can absolutely influence the court of law. So what do you do when you're facing charges, protective orders, and potential consequences? You shift the narrative. You make people feel bad for you. You become the victim instead of the accused. And what's the easiest way to do that? Health scares, family struggles, emotional breakdowns. Because when people think you're suffering, they're less likely to believe you're dangerous. They're more likely to give you grace. Now, I'm not saying Ray J is faking his health issues. I'm not a doctor and I don't have access to his medical records. But what I am saying is that the timing is suspicious. The optics are suspicious. And the fact that he looks perfectly fine in court today, that's extremely suspicious. Let's get into what TMZ actually reported because the details are chef's kiss levels of messy. They said Ray J showed up decked out in a slick suit with cool guy energy. They said he refused to make eye contact with cameras, which, by the way, is classic media training. Don't engage. Don't give them the soundbite they want. Stay mysterious. But then he did talk. And when asked how he's doing, he said, "I'm doing all right, better today." Now, TMZ tried to soften it by saying maybe he's just powering through the rough days, or maybe his health is day by day instead of doomsday. But y'all, if you're dying, you don't have good days where you're walking into court looking like you're about to close a business deal. You don't casually say, "I'm doing all right," when you've told the world half your heart is dead, unless you were never that sick to begin with, or the sickness was exaggerated, or the whole thing was a performance designed to generate sympathy and distract from the legal mess. I'm just saying, the receipts are receding. The internet is not holding back right now. Twitter is on fire. The comments under TMZ's post are ruthless. People are saying, so he's dying, but he can walk into court with no assistance? Half his heart is black, but he's wearing Tom Ford. Make it make sense. Ray J really said, "I'm on my deathbed," and then showed up to court looking like he's going to a club opening. This man is the king of manipulation, and y'all fall for it every time. I hope he's okay, but I also hope he stops playing in our faces. And honestly, those comments sum it up perfectly. Because even the people who want to be sympathetic are struggling to ignore the inconsistencies. When you cry wolf this many times, people stop believing you. And that's exactly where we are with Ray J right now. Let's revisit what Ray J actually said about his health. He didn't just say he wasn't feeling well. He said half his heart has turned black. He said he's on a stack of medications just to stay alive. He implied he has months to live. Those are not minor claims. Those are life or death. Start planning your funeral level claims. And when you make claims like that, people expect to see evidence, not proof necessarily because medical privacy is real, but at least consistency. And yet here he is walking, talking, suited up, smiling for the cameras, even if he's not looking at them, saying he's doing all right. If you have months to live, you don't look like that. You don't move like that. And you definitely don't have the energy to fight legal battles while looking unbothered. So either Ray J is the strongest man alive or the story isn't adding up. And based on everything we've seen this year, I'm leaning toward option 2. Here's what frustrates me the most about this whole situation. It makes it harder for people who are actually struggling to be believed. When celebrities weaponize health scares for sympathy, when they use mental health and medical crises as PR tools, it creates a culture of skepticism. It makes people question everyone. And that's dangerous because there are real people out there, famous and not, who are genuinely suffering, who are genuinely fighting for their lives, who genuinely need support. And when someone like Ray J muddies the waters with inconsistent stories and convenient timing, it makes it harder for those people to get the grace they deserve. So whether Ray J is lying or not, the impact is the same. Trust erodes, sympathy dries up, and the next person who says, "I'm struggling," gets met with side-eye instead of support. That's the real cost of this mess. So where do we go from here? Does Ray J address the backlash? Does he release medical records to prove he's telling the truth? Does he double down on the "I'm dying" narrative and hope people eventually believe him? Or does he just move on to the next headline, the next controversy, the next dramatic moment designed to keep him relevant? Because here's the thing, Ray J has been playing this game for over a year now. And every time people start questioning him, he pivots. He drops a new bombshell, he shifts the narrative, and the cycle starts all over again. But at some point, the audience gets tired. At some point, the skepticism becomes the default. And once you lose the public's trust, it's really hard to get it back. Ray J might be banking on people's short attention spans, but the internet remembers, and the internet is clocking every single move. Look, I'll say it one more time. I hope Ray J is okay. I genuinely do. Because if he's actually sick, if he's actually struggling, then all this skepticism is adding insult to injury. And nobody deserves that. But I also can't ignore the facts. The timeline is sketchy. The optics are messy. The behavior has been chaotic all year. And now, on the same day he's supposed to be on death's door, he's showing up to court looking like he's ready to sign a record deal. So is Ray J trolling? Is he exaggerating? Is he being strategically positioned by his legal team to look sympathetic? Or is he genuinely sick and just really good at hiding it when it matters? I don't know. But what I do know is that the internet is watching, the fans are side-eyeing, and the trust, it's gone. If Ray J wants people to believe him, he's got to stop playing games. He's got to be consistent. He's got to show, not tell, that he's serious. But until that happens, the skepticism isn't going anywhere. So that's where we're at. Ray J said he's dying. Ray J showed up to court looking like he's thriving, and the internet is calling cap. What do you think? Is Ray J really sick, or is this the performance of a lifetime? Do you believe him, or are you team receipts don't lie? Drop a comment and let me know, because this conversation is getting messy and I'm here for all of it. If you made it to the end, smash that like button, subscribe for more celebrity tea, and buckle up, because Ray J season is far from over. Stay messy, stay informed, and I'll catch you in the next one.